Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So in today's video, I want to talk about something I absolutely hate about the Mustang Ecoboost. I personally own a 2019 Mustang GT, and I've driven my fair share of Mustang Ecoboost, and I think they're really great cars for the value that it offers for the price. I mean, $26,000, you got a 310 horsepower car, rear wheel drive, and all the good stuff. But this one thing that Mustang Ecoboost had that I absolutely hate, because I feel like it's just trying to be something that it's not, and that is the fake noise that's pumped into the cabin. It's throughout all modes: normal mode, sport plus mode. Sport plus mode is actually the worst in this case. So I'll actually show you how the fake noise sounds. So we're going to be driving around. I'll put the car in sport plus mode. I'll also do it in normal mode as well so you can kind of hear. But I think the fake noise is really annoying, and it's just trying to be something it's not. It's not a V8, and I think people who are buying it know that. So the fact that it has a fake noise, especially for us car enthusiasts, we can easily spot it, and it's very bad. Alright, so we've got the Mustang Ecoboost on the road right now, and we currently have no drive mode selected, so everything is in normal. The transmission is just in D for drive. There's no sport mode or anything like that. So in drive mode, the fake sound in the cabin isn't as bad as the sport plus mode, but I kind of want to give you a comparison between the two. So as I'm coming to the stoplight, I'm going to go ahead and accelerate a little bit aggressively so you can hear for yourself. Alright, so as you heard from those clips, it's got somewhat of a deep tone. I wouldn't call it a deep rumble like the V8, but if I'm being honest, it does add some character to the Mustang Ecoboost, especially if you can't tell the difference between a V8 and a 4-cylinder turbo. You would think that it is somewhat of a sporty sounding engine, which nothing is wrong with. So as we approach this highway, I'm going to go ahead and try to merge with the Mustang Ecoboost, which means I'm going to be giving a lot more gas than what I did before. And as we increase the gas input, it's going to have more fake noise. Take a listen for yourself. With normal mode, I feel like it's not all that bad. It adds a little bit of character to your Mustang Ecoboost, but Sport Plus mode is the worst when it comes to the fake noise pumped into the cabin. Take a listen for yourself. Yeah, that is very, very bad. I mean, the fake noise pumped into the cabin with the Sport Plus mode is just horrible, and it's just so fake. I mean, the difference obviously is that it gets louder in Sport Plus mode, which I guess could be a good thing, but it loses all of the deep sound that it had in the normal mode. So now it just sounds very, I don't know how to describe it. It just sounds very thin. And anyone who knows anything about cars knows that no car ever sounds like that. With the normal mode, you could make an argument that, if you had a car that had somewhat of a, mild exhaust, it may sound similar to that, and for an untrained person, they may not notice it, which is fine because that's what Ford is trying to sell Mustang Ecoboost buyers. But in Sport Plus mode, it just sounds absolutely fake. It's just so thin, you can almost think that it's coming directly from the speakers, which obviously it is, but it's very obvious, where in normal mode, it's not that obvious. You just think it's like a deep sound that's added to your Mustang Ecoboost, whether it's the exhaust or the fake noise. You can't really tell them apart. But in Sport Plus mode, it's very obvious it's coming from the speakers. And that, to me, is not a good thing for the Mustang Ecoboost buyers or the owners. And I personally really hate this fake noise being pumped into the Mustang Ecoboost cabin. I know there are ways you can disable it so you don't have the fake noise being pumped in through the speakers, but I feel like, that shouldn't be the case where the owners have to kind of go out of their way to disable something like that. If Ford had, taken somewhat of a conservative approach, kind of like how it is in normal mode, then I feel like it adds character to the Mustang and no one would really be able to spot it. But me personally, I feel like with the Sport Plus mode, and that is the mode where the car really comes alive compared to the normal mode. And when I put it in Sport Plus mode, I really enjoyed driving this car, don't get me wrong, but being able to hear that fake noise kind of cancel out some of the experience I want to get out of a Mustang Ecoboost. And not to mention that most aftermarket exhausts for the Ford Mustang Ecoboost actually sound pretty bad. Unless you're going with like a very mild setup, they tend to get very raspy and doesn't sound all that good. Even though Ford used the same engine in the Focus RS, which manages to sound pretty good compared to the Mustang Ecoboost. I don't know why that is. Even though the engine is the same, I think maybe it's exhaust tuning or the way the exhaust pipes are routed. But the point is that, you know, the fake noise should have been kept to a minimum where it's more enjoyable for the owners instead of being very fake sounding. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below if you have a Mustang Ecoboost. What type of exhaust are you running and are you satisfied with the Mustang Ecoboost sound? And as always, subscribe to Red 50 for more Mustang content.